Now, I know you do some mentoring with some schools now, culinary schools. You're affiliated with some, Cordon Bleu there, a few of the other ones. How do you see that in comparison to the apprenticeship program as to the culinary schools that you see now? What is the pros? What is the cons? And do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, look, it's a really hot talking point here at the moment. Obviously, technology has changed a lot over the years. Some can argue for better or for worse. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I still like the old textbook style of things because it actually forces you to stop and focus and listen. The flip side for me with technology is that we're in a world of scrolling. So I sort of question how much information we actually physically stop and take in. And the apprenticeships change. To ask, my traditional training days of all the basic cookery cuts and methods, and how much that's drilled into people now. Because at the end of the day, you're cooking, we can go around the world globally and we always end up in the same place with food. Something new will come, but we go back to the grassroots, the old-fashioned, whether it's slow cooking, robust flavours, we've jazzed it up here or we've tweaked it over there. At the end of the day, the principles are all the same. Sell the cutting techniques. I think it's quite an interesting place now in their lessons and their learnings. That for me, they're probably learning things now that I believe they can afford to learn in a couple of more years' time. A couple of years ago, I had an apprentice come and see me. I was in the kitchen. I said, "Oh, what did you learn at TAFE the other day?" "Oh, we're doing train the trainer." I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's interesting. You're being trained. So explain it to me." And it's those kind of things, is that I didn't become a train the trainer until, I'd been qualified for a couple of years. And then I became the trainer of the kitchen. But that took quite a few years to learn the lessons of train the trainer, because the way people learn through, whether it's communication, whether it's through physical or actions, is very different. And everyone's level of learning differs from each other, and how you actually gauge and quantify that when you're only an apprentice learning yourself sort of raises a few questions for me as to, well, look, does little Jimmy need to learn that right now, or can he or she learn that maybe in a year or two's time? Because for me, if someone can cook food in the kitchen, fantastic. I can develop all those other skills for them and with them. But if we can't get the fundamentals of basic cookery correct in the first instance, then we're heavily on the back foot.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of the freshmen that come to our school and they want to learn sous vide and they want to learn molecular gastronomy. And it's like they haven't even learned how to use knife cuts yet, sharpen a knife. So it's like they're kind of getting ahead of themselves.
Yeah, 100%. And the funny thing is, and I think we need to understand and respect, obviously, the generations have changed. And the younger generation now, it's quite immediate. It's like, I need it now. And it's like, that's all good and well, but it's like a little kid. You've got to crawl before you walk. You don't walk before you crawl. And the chances are you're going to fall over. And the thing is, that's fine. People will fall over. But it's how you pick yourself up and then take your next step. Are you stepping forward, or are you going to take a step back? Because the thing that's important for me is that in learnings of life or learnings in the kitchen, we all make mistakes. It's just, it's a part of life. But what's more important is what we're going to do tomorrow to make sure we don't repeat the same mistake. And that's really valuable to me, because at the end of the day, there's no destination in cooking. It's about the journey. It's about the learning. Like, God, I've been doing it for nearly 40 years. I'm still learning things from people in industry, new technologies. It's always evolving. It's live. It's moving. And, for me to sit here and say, oh, well, you want to learn sous vide. I was like, whoa. Let's make sure we can pan fry the fish first before we go and put it in a water bath. And at what temperatures does it congeal, and all these other applications, and crispy skin. And let's learn and develop all those before we sort of jump straight into the water bath.
Yeah, I agree.